Hey, this is Rob, and you're listening to The Hidden Destination. This is take number 2 or 3. I'm attempting to record this from the saddle, from my ride, and had to abort the recording several times due to a phone call and due to a dump truck heading in my trajectory. Not unsafely. I'm on a closed road right now, and they're paving the right side, and there's heavy construction traffic on the left side where I'm riding, and every time they come towards me, I gotta jump over into the dirt. So I abandoned the first recording, which was about 20 minutes. So we're gonna do it again. I got time. So yeah, today is September 9th. I'm gonna recap yesterday's ride from Crandon to Star Campground. I rode 60 miles with a little over 1,700 feet of climbing, and it was garbage. I felt terrible yesterday. Since the second I woke up, felt like trash. My legs were, particularly my quads, were insanely sore. I had a ton of congestion. My eyes were watering like faucets. Had a headache, some digestive stress. May have been COVID. I don't know. Almost felt like allergies, but either way, just overall did not feel good. Didn't have a ton of energy. Was tired despite getting a night's sleep in the hotel. I gotta stop having a beer before bed. It's definitely destroying my sleep and my recovery. Like every time I do that, it's noticeable, but it's so good. So yeah, I felt like trash, and then set out for the ride, and the ride was also pretty challenging. I had just horrible headwinds, a ton of steep climbs, and it was definitely rough. So just exiting the road closure section here. Yeah, it was really hard, but eventually made it around sunset to the campground. It was a hard 60 miles, but nothing super significant to recap during that ride. It was just kind of a slog. So ended up falling asleep a bit earlier last night. I guess early for me is like 11. And then woke up this morning at like, I don't know what time. It almost felt like 5 a.m. It was still dark. I tossed and turned for what felt like a good 2 hours. And so I got a dump truck passing here. And yeah, I like I said, tossed and turned, and then ended up getting up around 7 or 6:45ish and somehow felt kind of refreshed. I slept like garbage. Again, my nose was burning, my eyes were watering, like my mouth hurt, like my teeth, or my gums rather. It was very strange. It was just overall a very unpleasant evening and night and morning. But somehow refreshed and felt pretty good. So yeah, dried out the tent, loaded up the bike, had some coffee, and the sun was out, and kicked off the ride. The legs felt better somehow, so pretty pleased about that. And yeah, I sort of ventured into more what feels like Iowa territory today and yesterday. So when you're in the sort of flat farmland, if you have any sort of wind that's not a tailwind or a favorable crosswind, it just amplifies it and it sucks. So today my trajectory towards Manitowoc is a bit more south, a bit more eastish than south. So the wind is coming out of the east. So that's favorable. And I gotta say, being in the northern part of Wisconsin was gorgeous. I loved it. The Chickamauga Nicollet National Forest was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The rolling hills and the climbs were a nice addition to that. But I just love being in the farmland. Like, I don't know what it is. I love, like, Indiana, Iowa, Illinois. Like, I love those states so much, which means I am definitely doing ragbri next year, in some way, shape, or form. Doing ragbri, and it'll be rad. So yeah, I'm making my way down towards Michigan at the moment. Manitowoc is where I'm taking the ferry. I think that's the right name for the town. Taking the SS Badger. Shout out to the Badger family. Over to Ludington on the 11th, on September 11th. So I got to figure out how I want to spread my miles across the next couple days to get there. Ferry leaves at 2, and I want to make sure I don't miss it. And I had a camp spot that I inquired about, left some voicemails about rates, and I'm glad I did, because the woman called me back, which actually killed the first hidden destination recording that I did for the day. And I asked how much the rates were, and she said $80. I was like, what? For a campsite? She's like, well, we have a water park and a ton of amenities. I was like, okay. Like, what if I don't want to use those? She's like, sorry, it's $80. So, gotta figure out where I'm sleeping tonight. That was unfortunately on my route one of the only campsites on the ACA map. So, we'll see. Got to do a little research in town here. Oh man, these cornfields with the farms are just beautiful. Oh man, I love it. And then, yeah, on the 12th, I'll be in Michigan, in Ludington. where I will meet my dad, which I'm really stoked about. We're gonna hang out for the day. He's doing a Michigan trip, so we're gonna intersect each other, head to the sand dunes. I'm dropping my bike off at I think it's called like Trailblazers bike shop in Ludington that morning, because there is this insanely obnoxious clicking. I don't know if you can hear it. It's happening right now. It's just this constant clicking, and I believe it's coming from my bottom bracket. So I emailed the shop, asked them if they had a bottom bracket in stock that was matched the specifications that I need, and he said yes, and he can get me in, so that's good. Hopefully that'll stop the clicking. There's nothing worse than like several hours of silence riding, just listening to clicking. At least I tend to hyper fixate on that, which is something I tried to work on through meditation, and it did not work. So, oh well. But yeah, that's that. I don't really have anything else. I will record today's ride, either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see where I end up, and then go from there. So from the town of, looks like Pella, Wisconsin, I just crossed through. Ta-ta for now.